Hello guys, and welcome back to another slice of play to earn video. And today I'm going to teach you the optimal way to fight Crusader of Crypto's brand new world boss, Fuddlesticks. That way you can achieve the best score possible and maybe even earn a 0.1 BNB prize. I personally think this boss is very well designed because it takes a lot of micromanaging to get the very best score possible. And there are a lot of small mistakes that the player can make, so we're going to try to teach you guys how to avoid making them in this video. Now, Fuddlesticks employs a few new mechanics that the player has to deal with to be able to do as much damage as possible. Now, these new mechanics include teleporting the player, confusing the player, which makes your character control input reverse itself, so whatever you input will be opposite. So if you go right, you go left. And Fuddlesticks also spawns FUD sentries that shoot fireballs in 4 directions, which makes the fight more complicated over time. Okay, so first off, I'm going to list the best NFTs to use to fight Fuddlesticks. And firstly, I'd recommend either the Risky Hammer or the Circuit Breaker in your weapon slot, and that's because both of these weapons do crushing damage, which is what Fuddlesticks is weak to. I would personally recommend the Risky Hammer over the Circuit Breaker just because it is much cheaper, and I think you'd have a higher damage potential with the Risky Hammer, but it is really to each their own. If you have a higher level Circuit Breaker already, then I'd say definitely use that. And after picking what weapon to use, it's going to just be important to stack up on as much attack as possible. That way you can reach a higher score. I'd recommend using the Rage Gauntlet and Brawler Ring, although you could also use the Empowering Necklace as well if you feel like you don't have enough damage. And then after you've stacked those attack values, just start stacking defense values. You can do this with items like the Crusader Helm and Leyline Boots, Guard Armor, and Guardian Pendant. Just remember that when picking a build, that the level of your NFTs and what enchantment you may have on them play a huge role in maximizing your efficiency. I'd recommend just to not use lava armor for this boss as it doesn't seem very useful. And for the pet, I would recommend using Ribby as it does lower the attack of Fuddlesticks and should allow you to survive a little bit longer and a little bit more phases that he's going to throw at you. Okay, so when the player first enters Fuddlesticks Arena, it's important to walk directly to Fuddlesticks and start hitting him ASAP. After a few hits, Fuddlesticks will cause the player to panic, giving the debuff Panic Ensues. This will teleport the player to a random square in the arena. The Panic Ensues debuff will make your control input reverse itself for 8 turns, which makes it incredibly important to count your turns so that you don't end up wasting turns that you could be doing damage to the boss. You will also notice a FUD sentry spawned somewhere in the boss arena. This sentry gets increasing health based on how long the fight has gone on, and will persist in the arena until the player is able to kill the FUD sentry. Every 4 turns, the FUD sentry will shoot a fireball that travels 5 squares in 4 directions, up, down, left, and right. This fireball will do 15 damage to the player and isn't affected by the defense stat, so you should avoid getting hit as much as possible. It should be noted here that killing a FUD sentry will increase the player's score by 1000, which gives a good incentive to try to kill as many as possible. If you want to destroy a FUD sentry, I'd recommend waiting until Fuddlesticks actually teleports the player, and then going for the FUD sentry that is closest to you, and only going for a FUD sentry if it is within 3 to 4 tiles of the player. This way, you won't be wasting score that you could be getting on doing damage to the boss, and you'll get a little bit of an extra bonus for actually taking out these sentries. But other than these mechanics, Fuddlesticks will get progressively harder as the fight goes on, doing more and taking less damage as with the other world bosses. Now there is some RNG in this boss fight because when Fuddlesticks teleports the Crusader, he can end up anywhere in the arena, which if you're lucky could be 1 square away from the boss, or in extreme unlucky cases you could get teleported up to 13 squares away if you get teleported to the corner of the arena. This is a little bit unfortunate, but it also does incentivize the player to try several times, even if they have mastered Fuddlesticks mechanics, because you could get lucky with the teleporting mechanic. So once the player has learned and mastered these mechanics, there is only one thing left to do, and that is to try and get the highest score possible. I wish you good luck on getting a top 25 position.